everyone, and welcome to Take Two Radio Music. I'm Pam, your host, and today is a day of buttons not working. I had a heck of a time connecting to the show, and that's something that normally happens on a Monday, so let's hope that was the only issue for today. I'm very pleased to have with me John-Wilde. He is the lead singer of the rock band BlindSide Thunder. And let's hope this works. There we go. John, are you with me?
Yeah, how you doing today?
I'm doing great now. Thanks. How are you doing?
All the buttons are working today, huh?
I'm telling you. Well, when we have to call in, we got to press a lot of, buttons and PIN numbers and stuff like that, and it just kept telling me everything was wrong, and I'm like, no, it's not. You can't argue with a machine. You know that, right?
I got you. We're all good. I'm ready. Let's get it on.
Well, I always like to start out with our guests telling us how and when they decided to be in music, but this time I wanted to bring up something I read on your website first, and that's that you were born on Christmas Day.
Yeah, that's correct. I think I'm the Messiah. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Christmas Day, a long time ago, and I was brought home in a stocking. I know that for a fact. My mom still has that.
Aww, that's so
yeah, I
cute.
know. And look at me now.
Yeah, just bigger and cuter, right?
I don't know about all that. I'm probably bigger, but I don't know. Age didn't work with me. I'm not like a fan.
You're so funny. Now, was it good being born on Christmas as far as like gifts? I mean, did you get ripped off with one gift for your Christmas and birthday, or did you get extra gifts?
Well, I was in combat and I never did a PTSD claim, but after being born on Christmas, I can get it. I'll just give you a quick story.
Oh, yeah.
You remember the ABA red, white, and blue basketballs back in 1976?
Yes.
Well,
yes.
We just put a brand new thing up on the garage, one of them basketball hoopler things, and all I wanted was a red, white, and blue basketball, right? I didn't care, all right? My brother puts his jacket on and said, I know it's in the box. I said, I know it's in the box. Get my jacket. All right, Mom, let's go. She gives me the present. She's got a smile on her face, and I was like, I can't wait. We can't wait. I opened it up. Guess what it was?
Oh, my gosh. It was probably something else wrapped in that box, right?
It was a globe.
Clothes or something?
It was a globe of the world.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah. Since that day in 1976, I have been devastated.
Oh, God. That was kind of mean.
Well, my mom, she was a Catholic school teacher, and she said, I wanted to give you the world so you would know where to go.
Oh, well, that was kind of nice then.
Well, no, my brother wasn't too happy.
Oh.
He goes, I guess we ain't playing basketball today. I said, all right.
Yeah. Well, I hope you eventually got one or two or three of them, so that way you always have one.
Yeah, my dad, he saw the look of disgust and torment, and then we went to Sears 2 days later, and we got a red, white, and blue basketball. So,
Yay, Dad. So how long after, you were born did you pick up that guitar and start singing? Is that something that happened right away, or was that later?
That's probably one of the best questions I've been asked. I didn't pick up the guitar as I know it now until I was about 15. However, when I was about 9 years old, my dad was taking guitar lessons, just trying to learn to do something. And I kind of picked up a little bit, kind of dabbled in it. But as far as music, I'd probably say around kindergarten, probably five years old, when I heard my dad's Elvis Presley records and Buddy Holly and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. That's when I kind of knew, I kind of knew it was in the blood a little bit,
Yeah. Well, did you ever end up jamming with your dad at all?
Oh, no, my dad doesn't have any arms. No, I'm just kidding. No, my dad it was kind of a shot in the dark. He kind of just dabbled in it, but I've been down to see him in Florida, and I've shown him a couple little things, and he does it just for, I think, enjoyment and just to see if he can pretend he's Johnny Cash or something like that.
Yeah.
But, that's about it.
And you could probably teach him a few things now, right?
I don't teach him anything. I look at him and say, go to your room and practice if you're going to play.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it out here until you get good, boy. So.
Well, you'll need to show him how to get on YouTube and go on those guitar lesson things.
You don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want that. No. God. He'd be in his glory, and then there we'd have to hear him sing, and it'd be just a train wreck all the way around.
Oh. I think it would be cute.
Yeah.
So, were you in a bunch of like garage bands, in high school choir and things like that?
No, not really. Just dabbled with it with my friends and stuff, and in between working and sports, I didn't really look at it as a career choice or a vocation or anything like that. I just kind of just used it as enjoyment. In college and then in the service, I just played just for the fun of it. And there's some bands here and there, and then as I got older, you get better just by osmosis, and got in some bands and played, and it just kind of changed everything. Fell into place. I guess if you practice long and hard enough, something about eventually gonna come out good. So,
yeah.
It's kind of like being a farmer. If I keep planting, do better soil or better watering techniques, I'm gonna grow something, or weed or something. Right. But that's kind of how it happened. It kind of fell in my lap a little bit, and it's really just taken over from there. It really has. It wasn't a career choice. It wasn't anything like that. And now I look back on it, and they always say that first thing that you think about is the thing you should do, or the decision you should make. And maybe I should have really gone in and done some formal training. I didn't really have any formal music theory or anything till I was about my 20s. I took about a year and a half of college and just did music theory and stuff like that. But that's pretty much it. I'm just a grip it and rip it kind of guy. That's about it.
Well, you were just born to perform. That's all there is to it.
I tell you what, it's those early days. I tell you, the one day I knew I wanted to perform was when I saw Elvis on TV, that Aloha from Hawaii. When I saw that, I said, oh, I think I could do that. Either that or professional wrestling. One of the two. I was in it somewhere.
Polar opposites there.
Yeah, but they wear robes, and I thought the robes were cool, so that's what I wanted to do.
Oh, so Elvis sounds like he was an inspiration to you. Who else was?
Growing up, like I said, I started off like the older Johnny Cash, the Buddy Holly, Chuck Berry. Those are the things initially, when I was really young. But then as things changed, there was bands out there, obviously the first ones like the Van Halens and the Ozzy Osbourne kind of thing, and all that kind of fell into place. Ted Nugent. These are some of the things that I listened to, and then the bands that could really sing like Cheap Trick and Journey and REO Speedwagon. All those things kind of filled the void. AC/DC. Those things kind of were just rock and roll back then. Back then we gave them a classification of metal, but they were nothing even close to what today is. They were very they were very mainstream, and that's what kind of really got me in. And then I really kind of just developed the tone vocally, from Elvis. He had such a presence in his voice, and when you're young, you don't understand what you're listening to. Right. And as I got older, I could appreciate, the punch, the power, just the way Steve Perry from Journey would hold a note, or the way Robin Zander from Cheap Trick would deliver a line, So these things were very inspirational as far as vocally, but I just wanted to be a guitar player, and I don't know how I ended up doing both, but that's what it ended up coming out as.
Well, I love every single one of those bands you just mentioned. Steve Perry, my gosh, he was a god. I absolutely adored him and Journey. And Journey's good now, but to me it's never going to be the same without him. And I'm glad to see that recently he made a couple appearances on somebody else's show when they were doing a gig, and he came on and sang a couple of the old songs. It was
right.
Wonderful seeing him again.
Yeah. No, they were, back then, what people don't realize, these were very influential and dynamic bands at the time, I mean,
yeah.
I liked the Leonard Skinner and I liked the Blackfoot. I liked everything. Nothing was off limits, but it wasn't the variety wasn't as wide. I mean, if you think Black Sabbath was really that heavy, maybe back then they were, but you put it in today's context, they're not even in the ballpark, But
that's true.
Back then it was really good. There was a lot of diversity in the music and the styles. It was a good time.
Yeah, well, I remember playing Black Sabbath at home and my mom's eyes rolling back in her head, so.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
She could deal with the pop music and stuff like that, but when it came to the rock, especially Black Sabbath and bands like that, she just would shake her head and roll her eyes back in her head and say, "Can you turn it down a bit?" "Yeah, Mom, in a minute after the song's over."
Right, there you go. That's it.
And I didn't appreciate her music until later on in life either. So I think it's just something that you get when you get older, as you said.
Yeah, I don't know if it was really so much. I mean, my dad had one side and my mom had another, and the Neil Diamond, Burt Bacharach, Herb Alpert, and stuff like that, and Barry Manilow. I mean, I understood it, and there were some songs that I liked, but it's such an eclectic household. You had country, you had older rock, and I think what was best is that, unlike the kids today, I was able, and you were able to grow up at the end of a certain era, and then we were born just right after that. So we've actually heard and seen the evolution of rock music or pop music or the culture all the way through to the present, which I think it'll never happen again. It'll never happen again, and I think that's what makes the style of music that we play today so important, because we still tap into some of the older style, but we give it a modern context and tone, makes it good.
Exactly. And I love that you guys do that, and there are some other bands that do that as well, because that's something that should be carried forward into the, following generations. We don't want to lose that. We don't want everything to sound like it's on auto-tune and, pre-made in the studio. I just love live music, and I love to hear the rock in whatever you're doing. I mean, because there's country rock these days, there's pop rock these days. There's a little bit of rock in everything if you really listen to it.
Right, you're right. You're absolutely right. I mean, we when we're in the studio, I mean, the engineer is yelling and screaming, "Oh, do it again, do it again, do it again." He makes sure that. And the funny part about it, what people don't understand is, we were doing the Storm album, and I remember him stopping the recording, pulling me in. He goes, "Let me see the lyrics," and he made sure that I didn't have any grammatical errors in the context and the structure of the phrase.
Really?
Yeah, so I mean, I pride myself on that. I pride myself that we don't use, bad words, words that really, I think you don't have to say a lot of the stuff that I hear in sometimes in some of the alternative styles of music. I don't think you have to do that. I think if you can make a picture and tongue in cheek about it, that's fine. I think that's what it's there for. I mean, there's all kinds of words. You don't have to get down to the 4-letter ones all the time. You can leave that for the big outdoor shows and stuff like that. But I mean, it's my job. It's my job to convey a point, and if I can do that, I should be able to do that without going down to a lower level. You really don't need to if you're really in tune with what you're writing about.
I completely agree with that, and it reminds me of Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby is hilarious. I mean, I seen him do a live show, and he always said you don't have to swear to be funny. And I'll tell you what, he's one of the funniest men in the world when it comes to doing comedy. So there you go. That's just how it'll show you can do it.
Right. That's
now,
it,
give us a little background on how you guys got together in BlindSide Thunder. Did you know some of the guys when you put the band together?
Well, the band now consists of myself on vocals and lead guitar, Double D, Danny DeLessio on bass, Jimmy the Animal Steel on drums, and Michael P. Green, the gunslinger from the great state of Massachusetts. Me and Mikey were together in the Marine Corps for about 8 years, so we've been playing together for a long time, off and on. He went his way, I went mine, and so on. And actually, Danny and I, the bass player, we had a cover band together, and we've been playing together for, I don't know, probably 8-9 years now, give or take. And it was just one day we woke up. He says, "Hey, man, I'm tired of this. Let's do something else." All right. And I went to practice one day and just pulled out 2 original songs. I said, "Hey, what's it going to cost to go and get these recorded?" So we kind of checked out into it, and then we did The Truth Hurts, which is 2 originals and a couple cover songs. And basically we just did it for the fans that were coming to see us then. It wasn't really anything important. And then when we started to get a little bit of momentum, somebody said, "Hey, you guys need to get out of this and go, mainstream and really try to market." And then that's when, the first drummer, he left. We brought on somebody else just to get the Storm done. We got it done, me, Danny, and another gentleman. And as things got on, it progressively got more and more and more and more. And not everybody can ride that Bronco in the rodeo, so we ended up moving around. I asked my boy Mikey to come in on rhythm guitar and help out some of the riding stuff, and then we found Jimmy Animal Steel. He came in on drums, and it's been a very tight, well-organized, well-tooled machine for the last year and few months right now. It's good to have other musicians around you that can, really take a lot of the heat off you and really come up with ideas, sometimes outside the box, sometimes to help make the music better. That's pretty much how we evolved.
So I take it you all collaborate to write the songs then?
Yeah, everybody, let's say Mikey will come in with a riff or an idea, and then we'll kind of bounce it off, or vice versa, and then we'll come up with a rhythmic line, and I'll kind of do some reasonable kind of vocals over it, maybe try to hear what the tone of the song's going to be about, and we're just kind of working from there. I do pretty much all the lyrics, I kind of put it in context. Since I got to sing it, I should be able to write them.
Yeah.
But now everybody really jumps in when we have an idea, or you got an idea, let's do it. I know that Jimmy and Danny when we introduced the band on stage live, they had a little thing they were doing, and then I said, well, let's do something like this. Well, they played it at practice or rehearsal for a show, and I said, well, there's a song right there. And then me and Mikey tore it up, broke it down, and then we built a song off of something they did. So it all works, You just got to keep your head on the swivel and look for it.
Right. Now, where did the lyrics come from you? I mean, do you sit down and write out a bunch of stuff, or does it come to you eventually?
Yeah. It's like an epiphany, like I got the 10 Commandments. No. It basically comes out of divorce and pain. No, I don't know, I've been in front of the judge so much the last 10, 20 years, I don't know. Yes, Your Honor. No, Your Honor. I'll pay the alimony, Your Honor. No, I got the child support. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No, in all actuality, I think, Say Goodbye was a song that I kind of wrote about that. And it wasn't to be mean. I just kind of, get it off the chest. I'm not really one of those guys that writes about any one particular thing. I mean, I'll just give you an example. Like, We Love to Party. Basically, it's just a fun, tongue-in-cheek song about going to a BST show and just having fun, forgetting about, all the stuff where you take your kids to or whatever you got going on at work and working 2 jobs, not seeing a spouse here and there. You're crossing in the night. You get up, next thing you know, it's 5 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock and you're already on your way again.
Right.
So that, and then you've got other songs like Slow, Hard, and Steady. I don't really know what to say about that one because I don't even know why I just brought that one up because it was the only thing that came to mind. So like Baby Loves to Dance. There you go. All right. We got a video on well, I know, Don, did you see the video?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Well, I wasn't there when the pretty girls were there. Okay, I'll just.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't. I swear. I yes, Your Honor, I wasn't there. But what happened was, a lot of times when you're in a cover band, that you don't get a lot of the girls dancing right away, and they always wait for that one song for you to play. And basically, I said I want to write something like that because it's one of the lines says, you wait all night for your favorite rock song or whatever. And that was basically for them. But when the conceptual part of the video came, I think that kind of lost a little bit. But it was fun doing the video for that. I enjoyed it immensely. But if you ever get a chance to see it, anybody can go out there to BlindSideThunder.com. It's right there, or it's on YouTube. And it's a great song. It's a great video. And so I don't really pick any one thing in particular, I really don't. I mean, I wrote a song for the new 100 Proof CD coming out. Basically, the words are about tequila. And if you listen to the song, because everybody said, well, geez, are you talking about the alcoholic beverage? Are you talking about a girl named Tequila? Are you talking about the hangover? So I intertwined all those things together, and unknowingly I did it. So I'm not like this genius that can come up with this stuff. Usually I stumble across that. They go, do you sit around and write words all day? No, I have no clue what it's like to be a songwriter. I can't tell. I've written 2 albums, but I can't tell you 3 albums, but I can't tell you anything about being a songwriter. I think you just got to go with the feeling, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's. I think the whole concept about that is I try to think of what the listener, the average listener in music would listen to. Does it make them tap their foot? Does it put a smile on their face? Do they go, I remember that night, or something crazy like that, I mean, but I mean, really, it just, I mean, I don't really zero in on any one topic. I mean, you hear Slow, Hard, and Steady, and I said that earlier, but you hear the name of the song, but it has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that song. It's about a dream crusher. People's
minds go there right away when they hear things like that.
I love that.
So.
I don't know where they're going. With it. I'm just a Christian young man trying to make a name for myself in the music industry. No, but what happens is, we got down to I got the verses done right, and I couldn't come up with anything. And the way they were playing the drums, I was like, okay, I'll just use that 3 words. And to be honest with you, by the time I got done with it, I said, wow, that chorus has nothing to do with that song, but it goes right with it. It's about a dream crusher that hurt me. And and I hope she's listening.
Yeah,
you hurt me bad, baby.
You could always send her the podcast when we're done.
Oh, no. I sent her the CD. Yeah. But no, I mean, there's just so many things, I like having fun with it, and I don't know if she thinks it's funny. I probably don't. I don't even know why I got into that, but no, but I mean, just to go out to see a BlindSide Thunder show, it's just to go in. And it's a little rebellious, and that's what we're about. Not disrespectful like that. We're more rebellious, like we're standing up to have our own free time. So many times we talked about it earlier. You got so much going on, working 2 jobs, doing crazy stuff with kids and all this other stuff, that you need 30 minutes, 35 minutes a day just to relax and unwind. And that's what we do. When you go to a show, I mean, when we're done with the the show, we're coming off stage, and we talk to people about everything. I mean, I tell you what, I am so lucky to be with 3 other guys in the band that, you know, though we perceive ourselves as, you know, a simple, you know, down-to-earth people, I have to admit we do have some very educated individuals in this band, and we talk to people about everything. You know, people say, you know, we talk about obviously about music. You know, we're talking about the equipment and things like that, and then we're talking about politics, sports. I mean, where can I get a good divorce attorney? I mean, stuff like that. We're right there for them. You know, I got my car towed the other night. What do I do? You know. So,
my gosh.
We just. Oh my God! I mean, this is a picture of my wife and my sister, and only one person standing there. Well, good for you, my friend. Good for you. But no, but we love talking to people. That's our one thing we love to do. We love having a good time, relaxing, just having fun, man. Just, you know, having a good time.
You got to do it. You got to do it. I mean, and that's what music is there for us, you know, to escape from reality and just get into it and forget our cares of the world and just enjoy the music.
Yeah, because I'm too old for drama. I mean, I get asked, when you go see movies. Well, no, seriously, they go, when you go see movies, what do you go see? Well, I go see comedies.
Me too.
I go see things that
my God, we are so alike.
Well, I mean, I go to comedies. I like to see, I like the military. I'll go see military stuff just because. But, I mean, I like comedies. I love laughing. I love
Me too.
You know, somebody can say the most immature thing. I think that's what it was when I was growing up. They said, you know, you're a hyperactive kid that doesn't have any, drive. You're not going to go anywhere. You just think it's all a big party and a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, Sister Marilyn, I know you ain't alive, but I didn't listen to you then. But, no, and it happens, though, you know. It's always that one kid that was running around the neighborhood acting like a nut, you know. That was me. I got to admit it, you know. I talked to you 80 miles an hour. You know, and back then they didn't have any of those things that put kids on. My dad had a belt, and, you know, okay.
Right.
I'm in therapy. I'm good, you know. And we joke about it now, but back in the day it was the norm, and it didn't bother me.
Oh, I know.
I knew I was being a fool. I knew that.
Yeah.
I mean, heck yeah. But no, I think you got to find a way to get out of it. You got to find a way to get out of this thing we get in. And, you know, as electronics have evolved over the last 20, 30 years, you know, we've become a slave to a lot of things. And, yeah, it's been great for music to a point, but it's also starting to control our lives. I mean, I can't go anywhere without this iPhone. Man, if I didn't have this iPhone,
right?
I mean, somebody asked me my home phone number. I said, what?
I don't know.
Well, you get the cable. You got your iPhone or whatever you got, your smartphone, and you get the cable because it's part of the package. You know, because you got the Cinemax package, you got the Sports Channel package. You got all these packages. They go, oh, and I need a wireless router. Okay, you got that, buddy. You're all set. You got 6 rooms. You got 2 DVRs. You're all set.
Yeah.
And we're going to throw in the home phone. And the only person that calls you on the home phone is somebody wanting money. I'm like, I never answer my home phone. I can tell you my home phone number, and I can care less if you call it because I ain't ever answered it. I mean, I have no idea what the phone. Somebody goes, and your home phone number, sir? I want to deliver this to your house.
Yeah.
What? Your home phone number? I don't know. I have no idea. And he's looking at me like you're the. I said, sir, I haven't used a home phone in like 5 years. You know, it's crazy. But I mean, think about it. We've gotten so far in society. We forgot our home phone number. Well, I have.
It's
I
so
think
true.
Stages of Alzheimer's or something. But the thing of it is, we've gotten so far that all the stuff we're passing by. When's the last time you just kicked back and did nothing on a Saturday, Sunday? I mean, nothing. I mean, you kick back, maybe put on a movie, pop some popcorn, do a couple shots, or whatever you do, or you know, and just dial down. I mean, there's days. Believe me, people think this music business is a piece of cake. This is insanity. I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning. My publicist calls me at 6:20 every day. The guy is like a Timex. He goes, all right, buddy, we got this going on. We're going to do this. All right. Don't forget you got 3, 4. Oh, don't forget you got a dental appointment at 4:15.
Oh my
Really?
gosh.
So, I mean, and you do it every single day, and sometimes we're not getting to bed till like, I know Danny doesn't go to bed till like 1 a.m, so the whole machine only shuts down for like 2-3 hours out of 24.
Yeah.
I mean, we're monitoring social media. I mean, this is insanity, but I love it.
It is.
I love it. Yeah,
I was going to say, you wouldn't live without it, though. I mean,
yeah,
we may say that we need to slow down and just kick back and relax, but you're the type, I know I'm the type, that's not an easy thing to do. I feel like that I should be doing something. If I'm laying in the bed watching a show, I've got to be doing something. I'm forever multitasking. Forever.
Oh, I tell you, that's, you know what, I hate being, we got 4 A-type personalities in the band, and it is like,
oh, wow.
And it's good, really. It's good. We've learned to kind of, everybody's got their space and we don't get in it, but it's just everybody's driving for the same goal. I mean, I only go to bed not to watch TV. I go to bed to go to sleep. I mean, when the day's over, I'm done. I mean, TV in the room and everything. I don't even remember watching TV in the bedroom. I just don't even. I just don't have time for it, But it's good. I mean, and you want to do something good in the music thing, and BlindSide Thunder right now is really poised to do some big things, and we've got a lot of things going on, and it's so phenomenal right now. It's the greatest place to be right now.
Most definitely. And are you working on a new album or an EP? What are you guys doing?
Well, obviously we got The Truth Hurts out. That was EP. Then last year, a year and a half ago, The Storm came out. And we've got two releases, Human Race and Tequila, out for 100 Proof. We're going to go in the studio in 3 weeks. We're going to finish 100 Proof, and we're going to release it on President's Day in February. And then about 21 to 22 days after that, we're off on the road until the last show that I know of that's booked is October 22nd of next year.
Wow.
So we don't come off the road for, 9 months or so?
Wow.
I mean,
are you hitting Chicago in there?
Well, I've got to go to Chicago because my Aunt Patty lives in Chicago. So I have to go to Chicago, and I'm not sure when. I know that there's a leg of the tour that we'll be doing the Cleveland, Detroit, Fort Wayne, and I think that's when we're going to hit Chicago. Either that or we're going to come up the other side and do Milwaukee into Chicago. Not really sure. But I know that we are slated to be there next year.
Okay, because I'm in Chicago, so now you have 2 people to come here for.
Oh yeah, I mean she's a crazy woman. She's older. She's crazy. She's crazy. She's insane. And if she's listening, happy birthday! I didn't forget. I just didn't get on Facebook yesterday.
Happy birthday, Patty.
But no,
I think you should call her up and sing to her.
Oh no, I already did that. She goes.
Did you?
Well, you can't carry a tune in a bucket, cousin. All right.
Well, the next question I have for you is out of curiosity on my part.
Right. Go ahead.
Do you think a rock band such as BlindSide Thunder has to be really established with their music as far as being a rock band or rebel rock, how you guys go, before they can put out a ballad?
Oh, wow. You know what? That is the most complicated question I've ever been asked in my entire life.
Yay.
Well, no, my math teacher asked me, John, do you know what the quadratic equation is, the Pythagorean theorem? You know what C6H12O6 is, but I'll tell you what, that is a phenomenal question. Nobody has ever asked that. I'll tell you what, I think you got to write what's in your heart. I think you just got to go with it. If you're, you made mention to rebel rock, and I just want to clarify for your listeners out there, all rebel rock is more of an attitude. It's more of a style. It's a little bit of southern rock with a little bit of old school with a modern tone, and we play up-tempo music. That's what we do, and it's straight ahead, smashing a dashboard on that Sunday or in the backyard with the barbecue, having a good time with your friends and family, and that's what it's about. But to get back to your question, we haven't planned anything for a ballad. I do have a ballad on The Truth Hurts, Talking to God, that's the name of it. We've never played it. We've never played it out, but I have. We've worked on a couple things, and we right now are obviously not going to have it for this one. But Mike and I were discussing, what we wanted to do in the future, because we probably after this we won't be coming out with another CD or album, whatever you want to call it, for about another year and a half, because it would give us 2 back-to-back that we can tour.
Right.
That, you know what, I think you just got to play. You got to play with what's in your heart. If a ballad is what you want to write and that's a style of music that you write, then I think you got to stay true to it. We've got I've got the Gibson right here, the acoustic, and did you want to write a ballad right now?
Me?
We could knock one out. What do you think?
I wouldn't even know what to say.
Well, do you hate any? Did anybody run over your dog? You got a dog? If you write something sad, they love it. Come on, you can come up with some more.
I don't know. My cat I had for 19 and a half years, and she passed away. That's about the only thing I got on that.
What's her name?
Her name was Bootsy.
All right. Well, we're going to come up with something for Bootsy. This is the Mac Davis hour. Remember that? Mac used to come out with a guitar to make up songs. But yeah, yes. you just got to come up with stuff that you want to write and you want people to hear. And I tell you what, you can't go wrong if you're doing songs from the heart. But I don't think you've got to be established. I really don't. I think you got to believe in what you're doing. And that's what, BlindSide Thunder is about. We believe in what we're doing, and all of us have a softer side. We do. We portray it totally different because there's an image that we're doing, and I understand that. But I sit at home, and I've got probably 7 or 8 songs that I've done on the acoustic ready to go when we need them, that I can throw out there and say, okay, which one do you guys want to play around with? Don't do a ballad because you have to do a ballad.
Right.
Write the song because it's the right song to write. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense, but
I understand that.
When it comes out, it comes out. You could be at practice and the amps could be cranked up to 11, and all of a sudden somebody plays a chord and you're like, wow, that just, your whole moment is in that one note, and you just play it. So, no, I don't think so, and I definitely, if people do want to hear a ballad, there is one on the first CD called Talking to God. You can get on iTunes and stuff. It's still up there. CD Baby, Amazon, whatever. We're all out. We're everywhere. So
iTunes, Spotify, you name it, it's out there. What are your thoughts on that, too, as far as people these days get their music so instantaneously by downloading it from all these various places? Instead of, I remember, of course, and I'm sure you remember hearing a song on the radio and you thought, oh, my God, I can't wait till that song comes out or that album comes out, and you got to wait for it to go to the stores, and then you have to go to the store and you got to buy it, and then you go home and you look at the album cover and the inside and everything. I miss those days.
Yeah, I do too, and I agree with you. I don't really care about downloading or file sharing. I don't, and there's bands out there that I follow that I like. There's a lot of different bands, and when they come up with a CD, I'll download the whole CD instead of buying it. There's a lot of my friends that like to buy the CD, and every now and then, if there's something I want that I think it's going to be a collector's thing, I'll buy the CD or whatever. But usually, I'll download the entire CD instead of doing certain songs. But that's just to support the acts, Believe it or not, people think they make a lot of money off these things. You don't make a lot of money on it.
No.
You make all your money out there in front of the fans and friends and stuff that come to see you. But you know what?
Right.
The days we're talking about, the music industry had a control on it. And they didn't adapt fast enough to electronic change, and everything was lost. I know that the guy from Metallica, Lars Ulrich, was, branded as a bad guy. But basically what he did was really go out there and say, look, we've got to set parameters, or the intellectual property of these musicians that are writing music, not just himself, but everybody else, we're going to be susceptible to just everything becomes free. And,
right.
you know, when you go buy a painting, like at your Walmart, and you need something for the bathroom, some kind of small, I don't know, whatever, you're buying a painting. The painting may cost you $10 or $5 or whatever it is, but that guy that did it, actually he got something for it. He got something compensated for his work. And I think that's all that they were really trying to do. Have they protected the artists, including myself, who belong to the professional, you know, the ASCAP or BMI and things like that, you know, as publishers and writers? No, I don't think so. I think they're way behind on that. But I can't worry about it. I'm such a small fish in such a big pond that, you know, I kind of forget about being the millionaires and all that stuff. I'll let the big dogs deal with that. You know, I'll stay away from that. I don't need to worry about it.
Yeah, and I think that what a lot of people don't realize too, a lot of the fans, and I know I've said this before on various other shows, is that when the fans buy the music, that helps you guys put that money towards making another new album or an EP or taking a road trip and doing some gigs. So, you know, everything for free is not always good.
I agree. You know, there's so many facets in how everything's done nowadays that, you know, merchandise is king. It really is. If you have merchandise, you can buy our merchandise on our website. You can sign up for our fan club. Don't cost nothing, that kind of thing. We've got all that, and the website becomes a driving force. When you get to the shows and hopefully you hook up with some very larger bands or iconic bands that you get to open for, then everything starts to turn over. You know, you start to see recouping some of the loss. I mean, honestly, this whole business is about losing money. You have to be able to. I'll be honest with you. You got to be able to write. In our case, you got to be able to write that roughly $100,000 check and walk away from it.
Yeah.
I mean, what people don't understand is that we don't have. When you get in these record company deals, once you walk in and you sign, the record company is like they want everything that they pay out for. If they develop a certain thing, they get that money back. And they're called 360 contracts, and they get everything from everybody. There's some decent ones out there, but there's also some really bad ones out there. So I like kind of being independent. It's on me. It's on Mike. It's on Jimmy. It's on Danny. It's up to us to further the Rebel Revolution and put out the Rebel Rock and BlindSide Thunder, the image, the brand. I mean, we own all that intellectual property, and it's up to us to do it. If we don't do it, then it's our fault.
That's right. That's right. Well, being in the music business and doing these tours and gigs and stuff like that for quite some time, I bet you have some really good stories to tell. So can you share with us the craziest or the weirdest story you ever had at one of these gigs?
No.
No.
I can't do the weird. I can't do that. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm serious. I can't do it. I just won't do it.
It must be a really good one.
Well, it has to do with two midgets and a baseball bat, but that's a whole nother thing. But I'll tell you one of the best things. I can tell you it wasn't really weird. I don't think we really had anything weird that would be, you know, crazy or anything like that. But the one thing that I really liked more than anything else was to go back home after 20 plus years. I hadn't seen guys in 30 years, and I got to go home, and I got to play in one of the bigger venues in my hometown of Columbus, Ohio, and it was a touching moment. I'll tell you, it was You always dream in your basement playing that tennis racket that you're going to play in front of your family and friends. And you know what? It's like it finally came true.
Yeah, that had to be surreal.
Yeah, I mean, you're standing there and the lights are on you and you're playing and singing, and all you see is black. I mean, that's it. That you can't, because you really can't see about 2 feet out. You know, you can see shadows and shapes, but you can't really. And you know, you look up and you're looking into the blackness and in the dark, and you're like going, you're singing the words, you're playing the songs, and you're having this conversation with yourself while you're doing this, and you're saying, man, this is. It's almost like you're at peace with yourself, and I guess it's more like you're in heaven. I guess I don't know how any other way to put it. You're not really high or anything. You're just like, wow. It's just like that deja vu moment that happens, and now it becomes a reality. I think that's the coolest part. Really, that was. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that show. I'll never forget that night or anything about it. I still remember everything I did, you know, and those are the memories right there.
Yeah, definitely. And I bet it was nice having old friends and that from school showing up and your family being there.
Well, it's kind of funny. They get off stage and they come up to you and they say, well, John, why don't you say you could play guitar? I said, I was hurt. I sucked. I couldn't. My parents kicked me out. My parents made me sleep in the garage. I was that bad. And you know what? That night, I mean, was it June or something? July. It was like July. Was it June 30th? I think it was, something like that. That was the first time my parents ever heard me play or saw me play.
Wow.
They never heard or saw me play my entire life until that night. So I mean,
wow,
that was tough to see your dad down there. You get a little misty-eyed on him. I said, suck it up. It ain't that big of a deal. But, I mean, because now, you know, you're built up so much when you get there, and you don't want to let anybody down. And you can't say I'm going to give it 110%, because if you do, you start making mistakes. You just got to relax and do your show. And it was very surreal. It was just probably the best moment, one of the best moments of my life. I have to say, without a doubt, it was something special there.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear. I'm so glad that you have that. That's something that you can carry on with you for the rest of your life.
Well, I hope we get some bigger ones after that. I mean, we've played some bigger shows and stuff. I mean, you can play. I'll tell you can play in front of 50 people, or we've been up to 7,000, 8,000, and we got some shows coming up this year. They're going to be in the 20s and 30s. But, I mean, when you play in front of that, everything is a big deal. it is. It's cool, but the toughest thing to do is play in front of 50 people where you can see
Yeah.
That's when you know if you got it or don't got it. You know what I mean? You're out there entertaining, doing the things, and that can be tough.
Definitely. You know all those eyeballs are right on you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Well, a couple more questions, and then I need some time to let you go and play Tequila and Human Race for our listeners. Would you like to take a minute and give a shout-out to your fans? What would you like to say to them?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, all the new fans that are coming on board, we're about 100,000 on Facebook. I want to thank everybody that can hear us. Thank you very much. Welcome aboard to the Legion of Thunder. And those new fans that want to come on board, check us out at BlindSideThunder.com. Everything's there. All the links are on the front page for the Facebook, the Twitter, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Everything is right there. You can get our merchandise. You can get our scheduling. So everything is available to all the new fans and people coming on board. You can send us emails. You can get gear. You can send your pictures in. If you catch us on the road, everything's right there. I think it's great what shows like yours are doing for bands like me and BlindSide Thunder. And I mean, it's great. I mean, without people like you doing out there, taking the time out of your day to promote us, I mean, God bless you, man. We really do appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts.
Well, thank you, and I enjoy doing it. I think there's too much music out there not yet heard around the world, and that's what I do it for, the love of music and for the love of all of you guys out there. So
thank you.
I just keep doing what you're doing. That's all I can say, because you're doing it right.
All right, thank you.
You're very welcome. My last question is, what advice would you give a band just starting out?
Don't do it. Ask your parents for all the money they saved up for college. Take it. Go to the Bahamas. No, I'd say this, and this is true. Get people around you, other musicians, if you're going to have a band, and you got to believe in the same thing. There's got to be, you've got to develop the band, the brand, and a character, and you've got to focus on that. And you can't. There's going to be days you're going to want to say, I want to pack it in. Don't quit. Your writing skills will get better as you go on. You get hooked up with producers, and don't be scared to write that check. I mean, you got to have a publicist. Some people may not mean a manager right off the bat, but you need to hook up with people that are willing to help you out, especially when you get in the studio, that are going to take the time to guide you through some of the pitfalls of making a good CD or a bad CD. Look at some of the professional stuff out there, the ASCAP, the BMI. Become a registered songwriter. Become a own publishing company like we do in our band. The band itself is a publishing entity, and everybody in the band has their own company, and we're all songwriters. Get hooked up with the professional organizations like that. Stay focused, and just believe. And when they're all laughing like they did when we started, at the characters and things like that, people laugh. Let me tell you what, they don't laugh now.
Oh, I'm
they
sure
only
they
laugh
don't.
A little bit. And be okay. Be humble about everything because you're only on it for a little bit. This ride only lasts for so long. And you got to enjoy it. You got to want it more than anything else. And you got to believe in yourself because there's nobody else that's going to take you as serious as you do or the group of people you're with. You can do that, man. You can go some ways, and don't let anybody tell you can't. Don't be scared to fire anybody. People that you sign on with that aren't doing the job. Hey, somebody's got to be the bad boy. We've done that, and there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, if they're professional people, address them. Have a business plan. Get some business classes or courses. Learn how business works. Learn why you're doing it. Learn publicity. Those are just some of the simple things that I would say to somebody that really want to do it.
Well, you said it the best out of all the shows I had. You gave the best advice. You covered it all from top to bottom, so I thank you for that, and I'm sure those bands out there just starting out really appreciate what you just said.
Well, anybody, you can get us on, like I said, you can go to Legion of Thunder, you can go on our contacts page. Anybody can shoot me up on Facebook. I don't have a special page. john-wilde on Facebook. Send me a message. I'll give me about a couple hours, and I'll get back to you. Or send an email. It goes right to our individual emails, and everybody in the band answers that stuff. I'd be more than happy to help anybody else because I know that when we were starting out, it was really hard to find the right footsteps, to find the right passages and avenues to go down. And, if I had somebody like that, it would make everything a lot easier. I understand that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I want to thank you so much for spending time with me. I truly had the blast just talking to you. You're so funny. You're so down to earth. You're so talented. I just love you to death, and I can't wait to see you in Chicago. So keep it going, guys.
Get out to Chicago. I can't wait.
Yeah. And you do know from growing up in the Midwest that you come to Chicago in the summertime, right? Not the winter.
Oh yeah. No question about that. We will not. No disrespect to Chicago, but we're going to get there when it's sun high in the sky.
Right.
No, but thank you for taking the time to have our band on your program today. And if there's anything that we can do for you. And we will. I'll tell you what. When we get the new CD done, it'll be done probably around right before Christmas. We'll send you the digital load of it. You can have it for your show or do whatever.
Thank
you want to do
you. Yes, definitely. I love to play your music on my show and will. So I will appreciate when you send that to me. Thanks again, John. Have a great day and just keep it coming.
All right. Thank you, man. Have a great day, guys.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And for our listeners, here is Tequila by BlindSide Thunder. The next song and the last song I'm playing for now is called Human Race. Human Race by BlindSide Thunder. Those two singles are their latest releases, and we look forward to the next album coming out next year. I can't wait to see these guys live either, because you can tell just by speaking with John how much fun this band is and how very talented they are, and I just absolutely love their music. Don't forget to check out their website again, which is blindsidethunder.com, and their Facebook. You put in BlindSide Thunder, you'll be able to find them, as well as on Twitter at BlindSide T, just the letter T, and give them a follow, give them a shout out. If you're a band, you're just starting out, need some advice, give him a shout-out. As you heard, he will get back to you and help you out. So I think that's just so awesome of him. Be sure to pick up their music either from their website or iTunes, wherever you get your music from. And I want to thank everybody for joining me today. Thanks again to John for joining me. Thank you to Ronnie for the opportunity to speak with John. And I'll be back again on Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time with another hour or so of the best indie music from around the world. So take care, everybody. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll talk again soon. God bless.
Get connected with Take Two Radio Music on Facebook or Twitter at Take Two Radio Music, or for email updates on future shows, follow at Blog Talk Radio. For previous episodes, upcoming guests, and more, visit TakeTwoRadioMusic.com.